Look at this field of sunflowers. They stand perfectly still in the sun, yet each stalk operates as the Earth's most advanced energy factory. Yet day by day, it builds a massive, heavy trunk, sprouts thick green leaves, and pushes out brilliant blooms. If it isn't eating, where is all that physical weight actually coming from? To figure out how a plant conjures mass seemingly out of nothing, we need to track the invisible ingredients it pulls straight from the empty space around it. The first ingredient falls from the sky. Millions of tiny invisible energy packets, called photons, rain down from the sun and strike the surface of the green leaves. At the exact same time, the plant breathes in. Carbon dioxide molecules drift through the air and slip inside the leaf through microscopic pores on its underside, called stomata. Down below in the dirt, the plant gathers its final component. Thirsty roots fan out through the soil, soaking up droplets of liquid water. That water doesn't stay underground for long. It shoots upward at high speeds through a specialized internal pipeline called the xylem, riding a biological water slide straight up the stem. Light, air, and water are now locked together inside the leaf. To see how these lifeless ingredients are cooked into a living organism, we need to plunge down into its microscopic cellular geometry. Inside the plant cell, we arrive at specialized green rooms called chloroplasts. Think of these as the plant's solar-powered kitchens. Every kitchen needs a chef, and here, that role is filled by a green pigment known as chlorophyll. These tiny green pigments act like highly tuned solar panels. Their entire job is to reach up and catch those incoming photons of sunlight. The moment they trap that light, the entire cellular room surges with intense electrical charge, priming our gathered ingredients for a major reaction. With the kitchen fully powered up by the sun, the plant finally has the brute force required to rip apart its raw materials. This diagram shows exactly how the plant applies that brute force. A wave of stored solar energy slams into a water molecule and snaps it right down the middle, separating the hydrogen from the oxygen. For the plant, those oxygen atoms are entirely useless. They are pushed aside as leftover trash from the chemical reaction. That discarded byproduct is then flushed out of the leaf's stomata. The trash expelled by this microscopic kitchen is the sole reason humans and animals have an atmosphere to breathe. Back in the kitchen, the remaining hydrogen stays behind. Using the last bit of that captured solar energy, the hydrogen locks on to the waiting carbon dioxide molecules. The elements recombine into a brand new structure, glucose, a simple, energy-dense sugar. By forcing these molecules to break and rebuild, the plant achieves something incredible. It turns intangible sunlight into physical, chemical food to feed itself. Zooming back out from the microscopic cell, the plant wastes no time using its fresh meal. The newly minted glucose is instantly flushed down a delivery pipeline called the phloem. This sweet syrup acts as rocket fuel, rushing to the stem, roots, and flowers to trigger immediate physical growth and bright blooming. This graphic illustrates the plant's survival strategy for cloudy days. When it produces extra, unused glucose, it takes those individual sugar units and links them together sequentially to form dense chains of starch, banking the calories in its roots for later. Pumping fresh sugar to new leaves while burying heavy starch in the roots provides the sheer physical mass a tiny seedling needs to bulk up into a towering stalk. When you scale this process up from a single sunflower to every blade of grass, every broadleaf tree, and patch of oceanic algae, you get two distinct outputs: solid food in the form of glucose and starch, and breathable oxygen gas. The food these plants synthesize for themselves anchors the entire planetary food web. Every herbivore and carnivore ultimately derives its calories from these exact same solar-powered sugars. Meanwhile, the constant, steady venting of discarded oxygen keeps the Earth's atmosphere habitable, replenishing the air for every breathing ecosystem on the globe. Every single bite of food you consume and every breath of air you take is a direct result of the silent, invisible magic of a solar kitchen.